In your pre-show notes, you said that you are conservative and traditional.
Yeah.
You consider yourself traditional?
Yeah, in some points.
Okay. I took a review of your Twitter and your well, I didn't purchase your OnlyFans, but we looked at the front page, right?
Right.
Your Twitter and your Instagram. We're not going to pull up your Instagram because we'll probably get into some sort of trouble for what's on there. But
Right. Is he going for that?
Actually, wait, hold
It's
on.
not that bad. I don't think her Instagram's
Going around the
terrible.
table, really quick before I get to that. Do you consider yourself traditional?
I'm independent.
No, not politics.
I don't know.
What the fuck is Explain what you mean by traditional
Yeah,
so
please.
they can
What
understand.
is that?
I'm going to defer to Andrew on this one, but typically when I think of traditional...
What is traditional?
Traditional values, modesty...
So, Inquisitor Zeal donated $100. Andrew, do you see how much easier it is to just be a zealot? Yes, all prostitutes are undateable. Yes, all heretics must burn. You don't have to be charitable with their individualist nonsense.
I think you have to meet people exactly where they're at, or at least try to. So let me try to give kind of an overview of what I consider traditional to be. So traditionalism, best described as experiments in history which we know have worked. Okay? That's what it means. So when we're talking about experiments in history which have already worked, we're basically talking inside of the United States about a bit of modesty, a two-parent household, these types of things. That's what we're talking about when we're making a reference to traditionalism, experiments which we know have worked.
Then yes, I am a traditionalist.
You're aren't you an OnlyFans model?
Well, I believe in traditionalism. But yes, I am.
But
My parents have been married for 40 years, so I believe in that. Do I believe in it for myself? Maybe not. So I guess, all right, fine. Untraditional? I don't know.
Let's have all the girls answer. Are you traditional?
Sorry.
Do you consider yourself traditional?
I wish I could be traditional, but right now where I am in my career, I'm like honest with myself, and what what I do is like an untraditional thing. But if I could, I would be traditional. Like, yes, I came from the same thing Brittany has. Like, my parents are married, my grandparents are married. I grew up that way. I wish I could have that, but I don't have that.
I have to get up, but going around the table if you all want to answer the question.
Yes. Go on.
Next.
None of them are going to get the third degree.
But,
Just the first one that answers. Of course.
I would say my friends and family would describe me as traditional, everybody who knows me, but I can tell for me personally, I'm slowly pulling away from that traditional view.
Oh, you're moving away from it?
A little bit. I feel like I am a traditional person in my mindset. It's just that this generation...
Is having 3 sugar daddies traditional?
In the way I operate with them, yes, actually. Because it's no different, really, than a cousin giving you money and being like, here's for you.
It's a bit
and your
different.
parents holding it.
Because your cousin giving you money probably isn't engaging in like incestuous lust.
Honestly, I don't think they lust after me the way you think. Like, you think it's just all appearance.
Why would a guy give you money? Just... Nothing in this world is free, right?
Nothing is, but it's not like they're giving me money.
So you don't
right
think
off
that
the
they
bat.
have any?
They get to know
you don't think they have a
first.
romantic interest in you?
Most of them, if they do, keep it to themselves. They tell me that I look good, and that's it. There's no pictures.
I mean, look, I know there's a lot of simps out there. I personally don't get it. I don't get the whole, let me just send a girl $500.
Without anything involved, right?
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
It's weird, but okay, it happens. There's a lot of simps.
Yes, I'm traditional.
Yes.
I am. I would have to say I'm not, because I'm not like waiting till marriage for anything. So.
Okay.
I would say I'm traditional as well.
So if you are the ones who claim that you're traditional, if tradition by my definition is moving back towards experiments which worked, right? Which of those experiments that worked are you calling back to?
Experiments. What does that mean?
Can you define that?
Social experiments which worked, meaning, For instance, a nuclear family would be an experiment which worked. A cross-generational household would be an experiment that worked. These are sociological distinctions, societal distinctions that we can look at and say, this society in this place, it worked. So which of these callbacks are you moving towards for these experiments which you think work?
As would you say, like being housewife and letting a man take his role and like be the head of the household?
Yeah, of course.
Like, okay, yes, I do believe in that. That's
You believe in that, but what Brian's after here is to determine you can believe that thing is true and that it worked as far as a social norm. That doesn't mean you yourself act in accordance with that or move in accordance with
when
that.
there's someone in my life and that's what we're doing, of course.
Well, I mean, like, is eating shit traditional?
No.
So, I mean, that's the point, right? I'm sorry to be vulgar, but the reason I'm driving the point home is that you understand what it is that I'm talking about, right? Yeah. If we're going to give access to a point of these are experiments in society, especially American society, which worked, are you moving towards?
Do we believe in it, or are we practicing in it, is what you're saying?
Right.
I believe in it. I am not doing what's traditional, but I don't feel like what I'm doing is going to keep me from being able to have that traditional experience and life.
I second that.
You know, I think that these podcasters are very much so like saying like, you're never going to find a man that's going to respect you, or you're going to have the traditional households. Like, I strongly believe that there's somebody for everyone, and that I will end up having my, let's say, unicorn in a sense, because you guys always feel that we're never going to find the man that a high value man. I feel like I get approached very much so by high value men all the time. They see my heart, they hear my mind, and I feel like maybe I'm just I don't know. I just believe I will end up in the traditional, you know. I don't think
after you've had your fun.
I feel like there's a man that would prefer that I had experienced and have done what I've done, because there's a lot of men that wouldn't want the girl that hasn't experienced and hasn't gone out there and seen what she likes. I feel like a lot of the men that I prefer to be around would find it rather interesting and different than the normal girl that will bore them, that only was with them only. And how would they know if they would have chosen him over everything else? I think of when a man is with me, he's like, she's already experienced everything and she's choosing me because that she knows what she wants. She's had it all. So this
is why these guys who are red pillars exist as red pillars. They actually would use a person like you as a perfect example. They would say, look, you believe in traditionalism and you think that it works to make society work. However, when enabled with the superpower of being able to do whatever the fuck you want with sexuality in order to make a lot of money, you will do that instead. And then when you can no longer do that, suddenly you want to be traditional, right? No. This is their entire framework for the entirety of their narrative encapsulated in a single person. Is that not true?
No. I think
no? I mean, how is that? That is what you're doing, right?
Not really, but I mean,
aren't you using your sexuality for your own benefit in order to get a lot of money, even though you yourself believe in traditionalism as being the right way and wish that you could be a person who was a traditional woman? So aren't you doing exactly what the claim of the red pill is, which is that you will use your sexuality while you can as a superpower in order to make a ton of money, and then later when you can no longer use that, then suddenly you'll become a traditional woman?
I would be a traditional woman right now. I would want to be with the man.
Well, then what's stopping you?
Nothing is stopping me. I'm choosing to choose this way because this is what.
Right.
This is the way.
But there is men that are traditional that would encourage you to do this. I mean, it's a great financial.
No, there's not any. What men who are traditional would encourage you to do this?
I think we're just saying that men take traditional men take that very, very seriously, and they live the entirety of their lives off of that. So do you think a true traditional man would want, you?
I mean, I've been approached by them, so yeah. maybe not traditional, but that is fine. I find myself like I would want the man who understands it, who is like, you got your money. He's like, he encourages it. He understands it. He obviously like
supportive. Yeah,
he's supportive. There's no reason. Like obviously, I feel that when a man meets me, I know that I'm like, I have a good heart. I have a good mind. When he speaks to me, it might just be better than a woman who's traditional, who did nothing with her life and just sat there, waited around for a man to make her nice house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think a man can be a provider, but that doesn't mean that he is fully traditional. I guess that's
who cares about the words of this and whatnot. In the end of the day, it's like there's somebody out there for everyone, and I think these podcasts are very like, you're not going to find a man. You did this.
There's not somebody out there for everyone.
There is.
Well, we're not for everyone, correct? But I'm not here saying like, oh, every OnlyFans woman won't find a man. Like that's, who's to say that? You know what I mean?
The statistics literally, well, they don't say that, but they say close to that. They say that, yes, your chances and likelihood, the more promiscuous you are, to maintain an interpersonal relationship with a man over a long period of time,
it's
drastically decrease.
It's odd because I have like both friends that are in the industry or are not in the industry, and I feel like the ones that are and they're in the relationship are actually happier because they're honest and they're outgoing, they're open-minded, and they're speaking about sexual desires that normally a traditional
but they're
household.
Not traditional.
Okay, well, what is
so we're non-traditional?
Okay. Traditional,
well,
it's just it's a title, right? Okay, this is what traditional is.
What would be the experiment that worked where two stars in history were getting together in holy matrimony in order to go and promote degeneracy? That's, of course it's not traditional. That's a brand newfangled gadget, right? This is a brand new, I mean, porn wasn't even legal in the United States for most of its
But everybody was watching it.
Have you ever watched?
You couldn't watch it because it wasn't even legal. Okay?
Have you ever watched porn? Have you ever watched porn? Honestly,
of course.
Truthfully. Okay.
Do
you think that woman is disgusting, and like the actors in the video, you're like, wow, this man is like, because there's such a double standard in society where it's like we put this man on a pedestal, like, wow, I wish I could be him, like versus the woman. But you think equally both of them are just as degenerate in that video when you watch it?
Yeah.
So why do you watch it?
Yeah, you're
sinning. I mean, once upon a time, I myself engaged in plenty of degeneracy, and still in some. So
at least you could be honest. At least you could say.
Stop. Let me answer the question. Right? I'm not above myself being a person who has been prone to sin.